Forecasting supply chain demand for Starbucks. This is LP 3.0. It's regarding the supply chain demand for Starbucks, completed by Amy Bailey, presented to Dr. Baker on the 20th of May of 2018 for National American University. The contents for today will be the introduction, the moving average model, exponential smoothing model, supply chain details, and our conclusion. For the introductions, Starbucks has been brewing coffee since 1971. They're serving 24,000 locations in 70 countries around the world. Starbucks is a brand, of course, we all recognize no matter what language we speak or what beverage we prefer to drink, whether it be hot, cold, iced, or even frozen. Starbucks will always be a hot cup of joe, a place to unwind, enjoy the atmosphere, make new friends, and just relax for an afternoon, a rainy day, or a meetup place for a group of friends. We're looking at the moving average model. Just by definition, it's a model used when you need to find the mean of a time series data for consecutive periods. It is constantly moving because as new information is provided, it is recalculated to make sure that the equations and the input is justified. So you're looking at it for a 1 month period, a 6 month, a 12 month, 5 years. It'll constantly be adjusted based on the amount of time that you have. Average model for the DCs in Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, and Los Angeles. The totals are given, whether it be a few weeks before a 3-week average or a few weeks after a 5-week model. It's all displayed correctly on the screen for us to review. Basically, for a 3-week program for a moving average model, you're seeing an average demand in Atlanta of 40.22, a mean absolute demand of 11.6, and a mean absolute percentage error of 29%. That calculates through each of the other regions for Boston, Chicago, Dallas, and Los Angeles. When looking at a 5-week model, the results are similar for Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, and Los Angeles. We have the average demand, the mean absolute demand, and the mean absolute percentage error on the screen. When looking at a different type of modeling, we're looking at exponential smoothing model. This is a technique most commonly used in statistics, which monitors drastic changes in the data and disregards the slight ups and downs, which they consider irrelevant. An example that I've provided today is, for example, if coffee sales went up by 1 or 2 cups per day or per week, that information is tossed. It's not too much of an increase or a decrease in sales, but when the data is fluctuated greatly by, say, 30 cups a day or an hour, then the question is why. And the smoothing model can be a bit more accurate because it does take special events or certain parameters into play that these dramatic changes are relevant where the minor changes are not. The exponential smoothing model for a 3-week program is listed as you see. We use an alpha of 0.2 for a 3-week model, and you can see the results for the same locations, Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, and LA, are given in the chart. For the week we use an alpha of 0.4, again using the same parameters as we had in the other 4 charts, as you can see for Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, and Dallas, and Los Angeles. Supply chain. It simply encompasses every vendor, product, or service that was required to produce a product to be sold to a consumer. Whether those products need to be imported by plane, by aircraft, by boat, by car, by truck, in any facet that it comes into the warehouse, whether it's completely assembled or needs further processing, that has to do with the supply chain and the management of those products solely revolves around supply chain and their needs from beginning to end. If you're looking at the moving average model for 3 weeks, the average demand is 221 units. The mean absolute is 30.82 and the absolute percentage error is 14. It's not too much different for a 5-week. The average demand would be the same. The mean absolute would be almost 27% and the absolute percentage error would be 12%. If you're looking at the exponential smoothing model, For again 3 weeks and 5 weeks, it's not too much of a difference. The average demand is still remaining at 221. The mean absolute demand is 24.6 for 3 weeks and 11% error. Where 5 weeks, same demand, mean absolute demand is going to be almost 80, and the absolute percentage error is 36. So in conclusion, there are many advantages to using these models. You can predict the amount of products you'll need to purchase and ship to one central DC. This allows you to buy in bulk and save on shipping for larger orders. You can also assess labor costs and needs, warehouse space, time of year deliveries to avoid weather, and many other facets for going from multiple DCs to one central DC. The disadvantages, of course, there's always positives and negatives, from moving from a multiple DC concept to one main DC would be the delivery time from the hub to the farthest location possible, and knowing how to deliver those products in the best, most cost-effective and time-efficient manner. Also finding warehouse space that can house all the products needed for their roughly 24,000 units. That is globally, so it's a significant amount of products they're going to need, from coffee cups, branded items, stir sticks, the actual beans, the tea bags. There's thousands of items that each location would need, as well as the artifacts and the structural pieces of each facility, because they are all quite consistent around the world. Significant costs may occur for overnight deliveries if items were missed or sold out more quickly than forecasted, because there are special events or just a need for coffee products that we may not be able to forecast properly, and they do happen to our business. So if products are needed very quickly or overnight, it again will cost a great deal of money given a hub central location rather than multiple DCs that could offer some assistance to the locations that run out of their product. Thank you very much.